Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
The demand for hate crimes just never actually meets the supply for hate crimes never actually meets the demand. And here's another perfect example of that. A drag queen storytime event in Mobile was canceled twice due to alleged threats to TikTok influencer Mama Tot. I don't know these. I don't know. Anyway, the brewery hosting the event also cited safety concerns from social media threats, and the same thing happened when the event was moved to a Books A Million and canceled again. Despite the claims of these right-wing extremists making threats, no specific examples were provided, leading to criticism that you're lying. Yeah, you're making it up. The Mobile Police Department said there's been no threats. This is not happening. This is made up.
Number 6.
European Nazi murder cult. Okay. Do I have your attention? Okay, good. A European Nazi murder cult had an international scheme to kill Jewish and minority children in New York City by giving out candy while dressed as Santa Claus. Does anybody want to tell them that maybe giving out candy dressed as Santa Claus is not a good way to target Jewish children? I mean, does anyone want to mention that seems kind of an odd thing to do? But again, they're part of a European Nazi murder cult. And I'm not kidding you, that's how it's described. Mikhail, and then a guy with a bunch of K's and H's and V's in his name, a Georgian national in his early 20s, who goes by the alias Commander Butcher, faces charges including transmission of threatening communications and conspiracy to solicit hate crimes.
Number 5.
Non-citizens are voting in American elections. Okay, let's stop pretending that's not happening. Okay, we know it's happening. The only argument you can make is it's not happening enough to piss you off. That's it. You can't say it's not happening. You know it's happening. You just don't want anything done about it. So you're saying it's not happening. Non-citizens are voting in our elections. Attorney General Steve Marshall, the Alabama Attorney General, and attorneys general from 21 other states urged the United States Senate to support the Safeguard American Voter and Eligibility Act, the SAVE Act. Marshall noted that this is all political. Quote, now that Americans stand poised to vote Biden out, he is opposing common sense measures that would help ensure that the aliens he has allowed to enter this country do not vote in November. His response, that it is already illegal for non-citizens to vote, is no answer when Democrats are denying states the tools to make sure such laws are enforced. End quote. Can't figure it out if you don't check for it.
Number 4.
All right, Alabama U.S. Representative Dale Strong, a Republican out of Monrovia, wants the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, FBI Director Christopher Wray, and Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheatle to testify before the Homeland Security Committee. But House Oversight Committee Chairman Representative James Comer, Republican out of Kentucky, issued a subpoena to Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheatle as well. And Comer criticized the Secret Service and Homeland Security for lacking transparency and cooperation with the committee, and added that the incident represents a critical failure of the Secret Service's mission and requires congressional oversight, which is an absolute no-brainer. Cheatle showed up at the Republican National Convention. It was essentially chased from the building. I mean, that's because senators, they had questions, and they were not happy with her, and she was not interested in answering the questions in that moment for sure.
Number 3.
A Republican vice presidential candidate, J.D. Vance, accepted the nomination of his party with a speech that was good on substance, but lacked the story, in my opinion, he needed to tell about himself. But he wasn't brought on for flash, as the ticket has plenty of that already. So the Republican Party also had some thoughts about the vice presidential debate, which they said, yeah, we're cool on a vice presidential debate. And then asked the Democrats, who's your candidate going to be? Is Kamala Harris going to be the presidential candidate? Is she going to be the VP candidate? Is it going to be Gavin Newsom? They asked a bunch of these questions. But U.S. Senator Katie Britt expressed confidence in J.D. Vance's performance and in an upcoming vice presidential debate against Kamala Harris, saying he will run circles around her and predicting an easy victory for the GOP candidate. It could be more lopsided than the Biden-Trump debate where Biden almost died.
Number 2.
In another misstep by President Joe Biden, the embattled president said in a new interview with BET that he would consider dropping out of the race if he was diagnosed with a medical condition by doctors, leading to speculation that he was planning to leave the race. Oh, yeah, and then later that same day, he was diagnosed with a medical condition by doctors. That medical condition, COVID. Yeah, so does he actually have COVID? Oh, no, conspiracy theory. Does he actually have COVID, or are they trying to use this to make him drop out of the race? The U.S. Representative Adam Schiff from California. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries from New York. United States Senator Chuck Schumer. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer from New York. Nancy Pelosi's former Speaker of the House. All asking Biden to get out.
Now, time for the number one thing you'll be talking about today.
Oh, did I mention that there's a medical condition with the elderly president of the United States? After multiple vaccines, President Joe Biden's latest COVID diagnosis is the latest threat to his re-election campaign amid concerns about his health and his performance, as his campaign continues to try to keep the clearly diminished and hobbled president on the ballot and out of the public eye. Before Biden announced that he had COVID and then returned to his Delaware basement where he ran the 2020 campaign from, he had been out at diners shaking hands and doing public events after they suggested that he might have COVID. So they had an idea that he might have COVID. They tested him. Then they still sent him out there. Well, I guess they were awaiting the official results. Nobody's going to crush him for that? I just want to make sure that's clear. If you found out that one of your coworkers came to work with COVID, your boss would probably yell at them. Okay, that is probably what would happen. Or at least one of the Karens that work in your office would yell at him for coming to work with COVID. We're all done with the day of, I can't afford to be sick right now. We're now in the days of, go the hell home, you idiot, you're sick. That's sort of where we're at. But the President of the United States decided that he would go and shake hands and kiss babies. And then later on, you find out he had COVID. I mean, I'm 45 and in excellent health, so I'm not worried about COVID getting me. But, you know, there are a lot of people that would probably go out and shake his hand that I would be worried about them getting COVID. Like, I don't know, the man who says she's a woman that's over the Health and Human Services Department. I'd be worried if that person got COVID. I would be worried about their health. So who knows? Maybe Joe Biden interacted with that person. Anyway, while he fights that virus, MSNBC's Joy Reid placed his battle on par with former President Donald Trump surviving being shot in the head by an assassin. That's the state of the media of where we are right now. That's where we're at right now. And it sounds absolutely ridiculous because, of course, it absolutely is ridiculous. Now, if you'd like to weigh in on any of the 7 things, you are more than welcome to do so right here on the QC Kinetics Free Speech phone lines. That's a simple way to do so at 866-494-WVNN. You can get in here on the QC Kinetics WVNN. No, wait. The Scout Pest Control. I have it written down right here, believe it or not. The ScoutPestControl.com WVNN hot take text line at 866-494-WVNN, or you can email us.
You've got mail.
On the downtownrescuemission.org email inbox at dale@WVNN.com. Lots of great ways for you to get in here and voice your opinion. Also, ask your questions for 10 with him. We'll get to those here a little bit later in the program. No question about that. And don't forget, we also have our place where the comment section comes alive. So stay tuned for that. We got that coming up. Go answer the question on the WVNN Facebook page. Right now, though, let me tell you about my friends at 2 Men in a Truck. You got to make your move. You want to get it done quickly. You want 2 Men in a Truck to make that move for you. 2 Men in a Truck, Huntsville.com. They're ready to help you out right now. They have what's known as the grandma rule. Treat everyone the way you'd want your grandma to be treated. They're great at it. They make sure that everything that you care about, whether it's sentimental value or economic value, is taken care of. 2 Men in a Truck. You get 2 Men, a truck, and so much more. Talk to those guys today. 2 Men in a Truck, Huntsville.com.
Get WBNN's Dale Jackson 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.